welcome back to Channel 1. What position are we on in the rundown, Craig?
I think it's like 582 or something like that.
Something like that. We are on the home stretch, right?
We are absolutely on the home stretch. This is...
We have, but we're on the home stretch, but we still have a lot more to come, right? There's a lot coming up in the next couple of hours. And don't forget, if you've missed anything, you can catch it all again on the platform. The replays are there. I saw lots of replays on YouTube yesterday as well. There's loads of content already out there. And talking of replays, any recommendations?
I'll be honest with you. After the last segment, my brain is totally blown away. The video that they showed with the behind the scenes, I had never seen it before. I mean, I'm the one that did it, but that was like an hour of like different pieces, and they condensed. I'm a little. Does
that mean I have to carry the next 2 hours on my own?
Could you do that for me?
No.
It's like you write a bunch of stuff down, and it's like, yeah, no, not anymore. Highlights for me though, and I will pick up on that last segment. Highlights for me is the fact that we are here where we are right now, and we made it this far, and all of the teams, all of the people around the globe, around the whole world that are helping us make this happen is utterly fantastic. Mm-hmm. And it's a great feeling. If I have to think about it from a content perspective, personal highlights, definitely a lot of the strategy talks. I truly feel like I have a better understanding of where things are going on the integration, low code, no code. Yeah. I also, as a developer, I see a lot of opportunity from the low code and no code for developers as well, to also add additional enhancements and everything on top. So I would definitely recommend people go back and check those out.
Do you want to know my top tips?
I would love to know your top tips.
My top tips are the 2 executive keynotes, obviously.
I wonder why.
And the Ferrara customer story. So anybody watching didn't see that, that's CT108, and it's called Consolidating Data on One Platform for Transactions and Analytics. And that was all about SAP HANA and the analytics solutions. And it was just, I just thought it was a brilliant, brilliant story with so much to learn. And I could honestly watch it, I think, another 5 times and still find...
You actually referred to that as being like the perfect,
textbook.
Yeah. Textbook digital transformation.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great one.
You're absolutely spot on with that. I really enjoyed that one as well.
No, I enjoyed that. And also, obviously, the Q&A, the first Q&A that we had with Thomas Sauer-Essig and Jürgen Müller, the 2 executive board members, on Tuesday. Feels like a long, long time ago, but it was only 2 days ago. But yeah, and we even have more coming up, right?
We have a lot more coming up. We have more live interviews. We have another Q&A coming up, the final one to close us out. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. But as we talk about backups and all the people around the world, we're being joined right now by 3 gentlemen who were our own personal human backups.
This is what you could have won, ladies and gentlemen, had things turned out differently. These are your 3 virtual hosts.
So
good afternoon.
I'd love to welcome Michael Emerson, Ian Thane, and DJ Adams.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Of course, my notes are all wrong now because they're in different positions on the screen than they were during rehearsal, so I'll just get rid of these for now. But
just
really,
make it up, Craig.
But really, thank you all for being here, and I have to get up to that note.
Do you want me to take over? Shall I ask the question?
I got this. I know your mom's watching, but come on.
Come on, 2 more hours.
So I did have a question that I wanted to kick this off for all 3 of you, because I know you've been watching. I know you've been sitting there in the wings waiting to jump in if necessary. So folks, if anything had happened here in the live studio here in Frankfurt, or to any of the hosts, these 3 gentlemen from Switzerland all the way to the UK had been as volunteers, whether they admit it or not, they volunteered for this. They weren't voluntold, to jump in and help us out. So gentlemen, how has the event been for each of you so far? And DJ, I'll start with you.
Oh, goodness me. It's been an amazingly exhausting, exhilarating journey, really. For me, the whole experience is weird because it was in so many different layers for me. You've got the whole sort of intense technical content, but that's sort of interwoven with all the stuff going on social media, on Discord, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and so on. You've got all that wonderful stuff that you folks are doing in the studio that we sort of feel, we, the audience, feel really part of as well. And the fact that it's virtual and global, all these different layers are sort of mingling together, even within the layers. You've got layers, wheels within wheels. Marius's awesome Easter egg code that you've been hinting at as well. So, Marius, one of our colleagues, has done an awesome job sort of, wheedling that in there. So that was a really cool extra layer as well for me.
Yeah, he just zipped it right in there, didn't he?
I see what you did there. Nice one.
All right, Ian, how about you?
Yeah, it's been a really great mixture because we haven't been traveling, which is great. I'm going to steal something from Maxi earlier today. No lines, great food. But it's been really nice because we've been behind the scenes. So I've been making sure that the TechEd attendees have a great experience and they're aware of the content that's happening, and we're trying to answer any questions for them. But then in front of the camera as well. So I appeared with Thomas. That was great. And made people aware of what we do, the advocate team, such as DJ and the developer news. So it's been a really great experience. And also, watching you, Craig, I thought you were going to shed a little tear when you showed the video, or when Thomas showed you the video earlier. And then I thought you were going to be tied up, sort of lost for words. But yeah, you got straight back into it.
The makeup is
Great,
so
lost for
thick
words.
that it stopped the tear from flowing. So. So, Michael, what about you? How has it been for you so far?
Well, I don't know what Ian's talking about. I thought it was like the food at TechEd. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that in front of my wife. I'm not saying it's better than home food, but still, it's still good. Actually, one of the things I've really liked about this TechEd, obviously, the fact that it's virtual, I miss the interaction with the community directly. But what is interesting, I found that when I'm on site, I have a very different conversation in North America than I do in Europe and than I do in Asia, right? And the fact that now this is like one event and we're getting all these different people, and it doesn't matter what time of day it is, right? It's this long event and you can have all these different communities come together at the same time and having a conversation. I find that really interesting because it's always been strange. The kind of reactions I get in North America can be very different to what I get in Europe. And then having both of those conversations at the same time has been cool.
I hadn't actually not even considered that aspect of it, but now that you say it, and all the online that I've been sneaking in between, yeah, you're absolutely right. So they've prepared a little video. It's a couple of minutes, and they want to show some of the highlights from day one. So guys, hang out with us. Let's watch this video together, and let's check out the highlights of day one.
Hello, and a very, very, very warm welcome to SAP TechEd 2020. Welcome to the pre-show and welcome to Channel 1.
As you can see, it is definitely a different SAP TechEd that you might be used to from previous years. In particular, from a content perspective, we have a phenomenal amount of content for everybody, and it's session formats and items that you will be familiar with.
It has also been a fantastic journey, and along the way, they're filming also everything that's going on around us.
This is the first of our many guests to come, so it is my pleasure and honor to welcome Douglas. Douglas, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Craig. Hello, Beth. Thanks a lot for having me.
And they're here to answer your questions, and I'm so pleased to have you both here for that very reason.
I am excited as well.
We're going to have lots and lots of questions on me from the live Q&A. When you boil it down to 3 things that you're most excited about.
You asked for 3 things out of a 48-hour non-stop program.
SAP TechEd 2020, #virtual.
Here he is. Hi, Ian. How are you doing?
We're going to have a special guest on stage.
Bring your chest up, shoulders down, and start breathing. Breathe in and out, and...
You can grab your popcorn, you can grab your coffee, you can grab your notebook, you can grab all your colleagues on, virtual phone calls and watch the keynote together.
I'm happy that you tuned in to our virtual experience.
I'm blown away by this. I mean, honestly, this tech is just so unreal, right? Pun intended.
Oh man.
It is a developer keynote that is waiting for you, made by developers for developers. So I think it's an awesome fit. 3 developers with a very diverse skill set. We're looking forward to hearing from them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
We have this queue called ABAP queue, pointing to the ABAP side, my ABAP queue subscriptions. So this ABAP webhook sub.
What?
I think it was super impressive, but what's your take?
I'm super excited to do that.
Hope your sweaty hands are not stopping you.
Oh, really good.
This is the best conversation on a Wednesday morning, right?
Absolutely.
We believe that's the place to be.
It's super exciting.
So you are invited to open your eyes again and connect back to this session.
Hello and welcome back to Channel 1. So, Craig, how are you today?
Yeah.
10-year-olds explain SAP HANA.
I don't know about you guys, but I really love the phrase, bring technology to life. And that's how it is at SAP. We continue to provide content.
So, Ian, as you know, I'm a big fan of Damsel the dog, and met her a little bit on Twitter this week. That's been a highlight for me. What have been your highlights, Ian?
Yes, obviously Jürgen's keynote, putting developer front and center. So I love that message. And then the developer keynote, and I've got to say, so well. Do we call them the 3 amigos or the 3 stooges or the 3 musketeers? I don't know, but it's fantastic to see the guys actually sitting there with the tools, doing the coding, and even DJ managed to get terminal in, didn't he? I mean, it's fantastic. Obviously then, today, I saw Simone Pierce. I love that interview with her by Menina. And really, I think the last thing is Channel 1. I just love Channel 1. It's like being like daytime TV. It felt a little bit naughty sitting there watching Channel 1. I was waiting for, somebody to come and tell me to get back to work. But I was enjoying techie daytime TV.
Brilliant. And Michael, what about you? What have been your highlights?
I mean, obviously listening to Beth and Craig throughout the day. That is, I'm going to be a little bit biased. Obviously, sometimes we forget that SAP is not just for our customers and partners. I have to use these tools as well for my day job, right, at SAP. And so I'm being super excited to hear about some of the new features coming along. So in Jürgen's keynote, for example, with the one domain model, for some of the tooling that I'm wanting to build out, that is super useful. Also with Thomas Saueressig, just explaining what is going on in the lines of business. I think all of this is coming together to deliver such amazing value. I just can't wait to start using it. So maybe from a less selfish point of view, especially Jürgen's keynote again, on hitting all the key points, like the free tier so I can keep on using my cloud platform trial account. So I can also on the sustainability side, hit all the key points for me. Loved it.
Fantastic. And DJ, what about you?
Well, for me, maybe number one was the focus on developers. Ian's already mentioned this. This is one of my highlights as well, the developer keynote, not just because, all of the developer advocates worked really hard on, preparing that and building that and recording that and everything. But also because, the production team did an awesome job, like basically taking the mickey out of us at the start, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, the general focus on developers. We got over the 2 instances of the keynote itself, the developer keynote, we got about 100 questions altogether. We were in the back room in a box, like typing away, trying to answer all the questions as fast as we could. So that was great to see so much interest as well. But equally, equal number one highlight for me was watching, all my friends and colleagues present as though they'd been doing it for decades. Max and Menina, Thomas and Cici, Svea and Lena, and you two as well. It was like, what? Wait a minute, how long have they been doing this? So I'm not just saying that because you're sitting there, Beth and Craig, but that was like, what? Where did all that come from? So that was a super highlight for me.
So have you guys actually, I mean, I don't remember kind of swapping notes with you guys about my script, and I have hundreds and hundreds of cards. Have you guys just been following along the last 48 hours, just ready to jump in at any point? Have you been awake the entire time, or have you been?
All time. All time.
Just longer days, weird hours, having one ear out just in case Craig calls.
Yeah.
I even went out and bought an extra roll of sellotape to tape the phone to my ear. And it's been with me ever since. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. I panicked this morning because on my run, I managed to factory reset my phone. So I was thinking, oh my God, if they ring me now, it's like, oh, what's going to happen? Ah! But, you know.
Well, they call us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You missed the call, DJ. We were calling you this morning.
So was this another one of your hashtag?
UTFRW.
He says it like it rolls off the tongue.
UTFRW.
Well, of course it does.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like it's Unicode transformation format read write. That's the easy way to remember it.
No.
So, all right. So, DJ, I have to ask then, because I've constantly seen you online. How odd has it been for you to sit there and be in the session where you're online, but you're not actually online, but yet you're there? How is that actually?
Yeah,
it feels very meta.
Pretty freaky. Pretty freaky. I mean, you know, a lot of the developer advocates, myself included, have been doing a lot of sort of online stuff over the past 12 months. So we're fairly used to seeing the recordings of ourselves. You know, I'm trying to annotate the things that we've been doing and everything. But yeah, it was a bit sort of, well, not Inception-like, but a bit freaky. Yeah, very, very odd to see myself in the studio when we were doing the developer keynote panel with Lucia and Matt and Thomas. It was like, oh, that's me. Hold on, and my lips are moving as well, and I'm moving my lips, and what's going on? So, and it was trying to sort of make my brain work at the same time as well, which is quite difficult at the best of times.
I was actually sat here in the studio the other day, and there was nobody up here, and they had it set up ready to go, and they were playing a snippet of the footage when Menina and Max were up here. And I was looking at the footage, and I looked at the stage, and I was so confused because I couldn't work out where they went on the
stage. You know, DJ just made this little point about how he was, you know, typing like furiously mad. And it reminded me of a statement that you made the other day about swans and everything else. Yeah. You know, everything looks calm and graceful on the surface, but paddling like mad underneath. I thought it was absolutely brilliant metaphor for what we're all dealing with these days. It's just been such a crazy ride. And I know there's been a few people out in the audience that have like, what does it look like for you guys as we're sitting here on stage and everything else? And I thought it could be interesting to just ask that question of you guys, since we have you here and we have a couple of minutes. I know you're in a Zoom call, and it doesn't look like a Zoom call to us. There's just these little boxes on the wall where you're being highlighted, but you see a box as well of the studio. I mean, what does this look like for you guys? Give the audience kind of an idea of what you're seeing.
Well, like you say, it's a Zoom call, and right now the studio with me talking. Oh my God, they've changed it again, so it's like whoa. And now I can see Ian, so I'm seeing the sort of the normal Zoom call effect where whoever's making the latest noise gets put to the front, and so I'm trying to sort of not look but look at the same time. But then also there's a small box in the top with the studio and you and Beth and us on the wall as well. So it's like again multiple layers. It's really odd, but you know, you just keep on keeping on.
And as we move into the executive Q&A, is there anything you're particularly excited to hear about there? Any topics that you're hoping people are going to pick up on?
I think like you mentioned just before our interview, the whole sort of raft of different developer personae, from no code, low code, all the way up. I'm looking forward to questions and conversations generated by, you know, that whole sort of spectrum idea. That's what I'm looking forward to.
And Michael, I found it interesting that you were looking at this from a also the employee perspective. So it's almost like another persona that's kind of in the mix. Anything that you're looking forward to?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of in between, I guess, the product development, customer, and strategy. And so I'm always looking at trying to look at new use cases. So that's kind of what excites me, right? So when these new features are made available, then I can start thinking about sort of new processes or new how do we piece together these different capabilities, not just within Jürgen's area or Thomas's area, but across the entire SAP portfolio that then provides new value to the customers. And that's what I'm looking forward to, right? It's just like, because I get to use it myself, and then I get to go to the customers, and then they get to play around with it too. So I love that interaction. And that is, obviously I've missed that in this TechEd, but still, the format's been amazing.
Very cool. And Ian, how about you?
Well, for me, because obviously we're part of developer relations and community, and we heard that message. I know there's going to be more questions about, developer, and we're going to be there to support you guys. So I'm just sort of really, really hyped about that.
It has been a phenomenally fantastic ride. I'm getting a message in the ear that the Day 2 highlights video is almost ready. So they're actually cutting and editing this thing in real time for us. So they told us that we're very close to it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And on a lighter note, we had that opportunity to do the behind the scenes and everything like that. I've seen so many things that have happened out on Twitter and everything, and social media. And there's one hashtag that has started spontaneously that I for one got a great laugh out of, and that was
I know what you're going to say.
Pets of TechEd.
Yes.
Yeah, starring
Pets of
Damsel.
TechEd.
Yeah.
Starring Damsel, starring all the other.
There she is. She is just the best.
You had to make an appearance.
I think it was you, Beth, that started that, right?
I did actually have a dream. I wrote about this on Twitter. I had a dream that we were going to have a new feature called Dogs of TechEd, and I suggested it to Craig, and Craig was having none of it. So I just decided to take matters into my own hands.
Good work.
Could be
Good
the
work.
last
Yes.
time I
No, it has
attempted to control
exploded.
anything.
Well, remember last year at TechEd in Vegas, we had the dogs that you could go and pet. For a dog owner, that was really hard. So at least you've got your own dog here.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
There was one, I'm trying to remember the name, but the dog looked like it was much too big to be a lap dog, but yet it was sitting on his lap at his desk on Twitter. I thought that was hilarious. But guys, there has been so many amazing highlights. I think we should now take a look at the Day 2 highlights. So if you'll join me again, and let's watch this one together, shall we?
Thank you.
All right, everyone, let's check out Day 2 highlights.
Today, we will show you how the SAP Business Technology Platform empowers many players in the SAP ecosystem. Up to 80% of SAP Industry Cloud solutions will come from partners. We combine their industry knowledge with our competencies to deliver end-to-end business processes. But what do you do if you cannot code?
Well, as a non-developer, I'm always interested in low code and even better no code. Don't spit your water out.
You guys spotted our Studio Cat. Hashtag SAP TechEd.
Where is
It's just brilliant. The cat, we have 3 SAP champions talking about their experience in the tech industry.
If I thought about a programmer, I was thinking about a guy with a short sleeve white shirt with a black tie and a pocket protector working for NASA.
And also try not to be like me and try to get some sleep. I love it.
We're already over 30 hours into SAP TechEd 2020. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah. Einstein showed us that time is an illusion.
These next 2 hours are going to be jam-packed with digital transformation.
Time is an illusion.
Not giving away much more there.
No more spoilers, Thomas.
No.
Speaking of spoilers, what do we have coming up next? What tools do you have? What runtimes do you have? What are these things called APIs? Do we have specific programming models? We know CAP, we know RAP, we know that for runtimes we have Kima, we have Cloud Foundry, we have the ABAP environment. You can integrate that with Qualtrics, you can use chatbots.
You can like almost wrap this whole thing, like there's the cap, there's the wrap.
Let's welcome Michael live in the SAP TechEd house.
Michael, good to see you again. How's it going so far?
The idea is that we concentrate also here on the business value.
Oktoberfest. No, I mean the Devtoberfest. Oktoberfest?
Is that my mistake?
Devtoberfest? I think it's you. You're the reason why it's confusing for me. It is a little bit similar. Right.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're talking about Devtoberfest, and it's a celebration from developers for developers, so to say.
I really can't believe that I'm now sitting here with you two. Casimir, aber...
Somewhere totally different.
India.
Not, yeah, India.
It's still the idea of connecting with different people from all around the world in these remote check-ins to see how SAP TechEd is going over there.
We will have next with us Simone Pierce.
I always liked building things. Like, oh, wow, this might be something. I love it.
That was some really cool highlights of day 2. Guys, what did you think of those highlights?
There was something that Cici said when she was talking to Thomas in that highlight that made me realize something that I hadn't really thought about before for this particular TechEd, this sort of flavor of TechEd, is that the regular ones where it's a physical event, you know, you'll have your own agenda and you'll go into the sessions that you've put down. And if you're an architect, you'll go into the architecture sessions. If you're a developer, you go to the developer sessions. If you're a non-programmer, you'll go into non-programming sessions and so on. But because it's all one, it's virtual, it's all a shared experience, and especially because of Channel 1, all of a sudden I'm seeing this sort of crossover mix of experiences. So, you know, for example, Cici right now, and I know, there's other people who've said, oh yeah, I've seen CAP for the first time, I've seen RAP for the first time. They're not programmers, but they're learning about that stuff. And I'm also, I've been looking at the strategy talks, which I wouldn't normally go to, if I'm honest. I'd go to all the hardcore stuff. So for me, it's been a really, really interesting side effect that this format has had.
Interesting. Michael, what about you? Any
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest, like I've not been able to keep a track of it like for the full 48 hours, even though I said I had my phone next to me the whole time. Still been trying to do a little bit of my day job. So, I mean, what I have really enjoyed is the fact that, you know, all of these sessions that are available, I can just quickly go back and check up on. I can kind of organize it in my own order, different to how I would have done it in the physical space. And that's actually been really useful. Not that I wasn't trying to do my day job when I was there geographically, actually on site, but although that, actually, no, I probably was. But yeah, so that's just an added bonus to the format. And I think, all the presenters have done such an amazing job, and the content that's come through has just been very, very cool and, usable straight off the bat.
Nice. Very nice. Ian, what about you?
I think what I've really enjoyed is the fact that, when the pandemic hit and we knew that things would have to change, we knew we'd have to pivot and produce something like this. But I don't think we actually realised how well the audience has taken to it. The sentiment's really great. People are loving exactly what DJ said. They can cross over. They can come back and look in. And there is still a little bit of community there. We're not really people face to face, but I've seen so many threads where people have met virtually. It is just a fantastic experience. I think, we've hit on something here.
Yeah, there was that huge watch party, wasn't there? Was that in... I don't know where it was physically, but maybe that's the point, right? It doesn't matter where it is physically, but, I'm thinking of people like Christian Parochmüller and all the usual suspects over there. They all came together. They were all on a Zoom call watching something virtual as well. So, yeah, there is... I would say that there's a huge amount of community... cross-pollination. Of course, it's not going to be the same as a physical event, right? So I'm really excited about 2021 because we've got a massive problem now, haven't we? This is such an amazingly successful thing. Do we want to repeat it as is? Do we want to sort of split it up and maybe do some other physical events as well? But I love this event as well. So, you know, it's the agony and ecstasy of choice.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, I just after seeing that video you just played, I'm so glad I didn't see Maxi in his lederhosen before I went to bed last night. But that would have kept me awake for hours.
What's wrong with lederhosen? Lederhosen, awesome.
Well, it's Maxi's legs.
Poor Max. Poor Max.
Poor Max.
In fact, he seems to be getting the brunt of a lot of things. I put out on Twitter a meme today about because he used the dark theme because you know of course we've had the
but that was
universe
so perfect,
and other
wasn't it? It was nighttime.
It was nighttime, but it was too nighttime because he couldn't see the input box he needed to make that repo public. So, of course, being me, I had to take the mickey out of him. And so, you know, we got a lot of material now.
Yeah. It reminded me of a previous SAP event where everyone was wearing lederhosen in Munich. It was great. It was even better. Just make that part of the scene. Lederhosen is the standard attire for TechEd. Yeah,
now,
dress code.
The worst thing that SAP's ever got me to wear was a lab coat. Remember the lab coats in our early developer garage, pre-developer garage, Craig?
I loved that lab coat. I still have that lab coat, and I almost brought it with me to wear. And then I thought, no, I won't bring it.
Yeah, talking about.
Did they have the pocket protector as well?
No, I didn't have a pocket protector, but we do have. So several of us brought a bunch of stuff. So we're giving away some of those Easter eggs that were hidden, but we've had stuff just all over the set and the stage and in the virtual background and everything like that of previous events, and we wanted to take a moment now to just kind of bring up a few of them and see if anybody remembers them and see what you guys think as well.
Okay.
So one of the, and I'm going to go old. I'm going to go old, something very old, and that's this one. I'm not sure which camera I'm supposed to point at.
This is all of 5 pixels on our screen.
All right, so hold on, let me get my ring in there too. No, so if you can see this one, I don't know if they can zoom in on that and see that or not.
It looks like a badge, a pin.
It is. Shall I read what it says on it?
Yeah, here, you read
Yes,
that
please,
one.
Beth.
It says, top contributor 05, so I guess 2005.
2005.
SDN, General SAP Developer Network, and there's a little star on it that says number 2. Does that mean second place?
Second place.
How lovely.
So that was when SDN was 2 years old.
There's another one around here that says first place on it. She's giving me a hard time.
In my ear, they just actually said second is losing, so.
That's not nice. So then we have this.
Second is first loser, Sebastian's telling me via the earpiece.
We're going to have words with Sebastian back there. So here's another one. If you guys can see
Oh,
this.
yes, I remember that.
Oh, DJ remembers this one. DJ, what was this? Do you remember?
Oh, I just remember it as a was it an NFC chip thing?
No. This was even older. We didn't have.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Then. This is the dog tag. So we've had dogs in our community for many years.
Excellent.
This was the dog tag for being a blogger and writing many blog posts in the system.
Oh, okay. So I do remember it then, yeah.
We also had one for moderators and some other stuff. Of course, at some point we were getting very stressed out. So we had our Code Ninja, which is also a...
What, like a stress ninja?
It's like a stress ninja.
Lovely.
Ian, you might remember this one. I got to remember where the camera is for Ian. Do you remember that, Ian?
Oh, is it the spinner, the fidget spinner?
No, this is the little robot guy.
Oh, the dancing robot.
It's not gonna end well for me.
Yeah.
I can see it already.
Yeah. I remember that, yeah.
Wow.
And I think we had a white variant at one point later for some of our Code Jam events, I'm sure.
It looks like your warm-up dance before you go on stage.
So we've had a lot of fun stuff over the years, but probably the most treasured possession that I have of the past several years are these. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You want to give it to me? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I have had this. Do you remember these? From the
T-shirt and a can from the vending machine.
Vending machine. Ian, do you remember filling
Yes.
the damn thing up with this?
Oh, we definitely. Yeah. Many boxes. You're not going to break the seal. You're not going to break the seal.
I'm going to.
Tell me you're not going to.
I'm going to.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm going to. Oh my God. Oh. This, everyone, nobody believes us. This, unless you actually have one.
Oh, wow.
Does anybody remember?
Now it's worth nothing, Craig.
Yeah.
Just halved its value.
Just lost all its value.
The funniest thing with these T-shirts is seeing people take them out and wearing them around the show.
Would you
and
like to continue for me, Beth?
Things going.
I'm getting a little emotional with this one.
Oh, that is just disgusting.
Oh, wearing them over the top of whatever they had on.
How? What have they done to it?
That is a T-shirt. You've heard of the T-shirt cannon? We had a T-shirt vending machine.
That's nasty.
Nasty in a good way, though.
And that's the XL.
People actually wore these?
Sometimes on the show floor.
Sometimes on the show floor.
Just needs an iron, Beth.
Wow.
It needs a wee bit of an iron. I think Sebastian's volunteering to come out here and iron for us.
It's Craig.
You thought what, Ian?
I thought Craig was going to point to his sneakers because one of the things when we did the physical TechEds, we went through a couple of phases of different sneakers, trainers, whatever side of the Atlantic or in the world you are, and everybody's, oh my goodness, that's developer sneakers or developer trainers.
The SAP sneakers that I have, these were the first ones we did, and not only do I have SAP sneakers, but I also have the SAP socks.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, I'm jealous.
I'm glad we stopped at socks as the only piece of sort of underwear, if you call it. We didn't do anything beyond
We did talk about it, though, didn't we? We talked about other clothing items. I mean, we've had the jackets, we've had the hoodies, we've had the shirts.
Caps, baseball caps.
Baseball caps. We even have, hey, you know, for the community, we even have a web shop. So if you go to sapmerchandise.com, there is actually a web shop for SAP community. So if you really want to geek out and you know, wear the cool kids' clothes, that's us.
But they don't have the fresh sneakers, though, do they?
No, they don't. They don't have. They don't have the sneakers. So
I've not heard the phrase web shop for about, I don't know, 15 years. That sounds like, you know, when the Internet Transaction Server first came out and we started building all these web-based front ends with the ITS, and, you know, the obvious thing was to do a web shop. So that's from that era, surely.
It comes back around every 20 years.
Yeah.
We should have had Thomas out here talking about the ITS server. That would have been
exactly.
Fun. So, guys, it has been fantastic having you there with us. It's been even better for us knowing that you were there in the background, ready to jump on board to help us out whenever, if ever, we needed it. Luckily, we did not. But still, I can't thank you enough. Guys, enjoy the rest of the last few, what are we at? Hour and a half? Hour?
Hours.
Hour 20?
Hour and 20 minutes of the show. And thank you again, and have a great rest of the time.
Yeah,
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was really nice to speak to them, and I did feel better the whole time. I still do. Something could still happen, knowing that they're there in the background.
No, absolutely.
But okay, so you mentioned it just a second ago. 1 hour 20 roughly to go, and we have the big executive Q&A coming up. And I say big, deliberately big, because it's not just Jürgen this time. It's Jürgen.
Oh, he's got several special guests.
Several special guests. Do you want to know who they are?
I would love to know who. Well, I actually know, but I think maybe the audience would love to know.
Okay, quick rundown then. We've got, obviously, Jürgen Muller's joining us. He's our CTO and SAP Executive Board Member for the area of Technology and Innovation. Michael Ameling will be coming back. He's head of Intelligent Enterprise Program and Cross-Product Architecture at SAP. We've got Philip Herzig. He's head of Product Engineering, Intelligent Enterprise and Cross-Architecture at SAP. We've got Fei Yu coming back. She's Global Head of Artificial Intelligence at SAP, and Stefan Batstoff as well. Stefan is Head of Cross-Product Architecture for SAP S/4HANA. And finally, we're also going to be joined by Jan Schaffner, and he's the Head of SAP Cloud Platform Foundational Plane. So, once again, I keep saying it, but all bases covered.
Absolutely. We've got all
Lots to
bases
look forward
covered.
to.
You can come on, log in to sapteched.com, take full advantage of the platform to ask your questions and submit those, and we'll be taking as many as we can.
Yeah. Now, you know, there's this sort of saying in Germany, like, after an event is before an event.
I think it's a saying pretty much everywhere, but it's absolutely true.
I've never heard it in English, but I keep thinking, well, whatever. Anyway.
Well, you are that different English. That's okay.
All I was thinking that there's still a lot of activities to come, right?
There's absolutely a ton of activities still to come. And if, for whatever reason, you're not able to hang out today and continue, there will be a lot of post-event activities. So after the event is before the event, because from today onwards, we will be doing a lot of workshops and expert talks and replay of content also in the SAP community at community.sap.com. So you can head over there and check out our upcoming weeks of TechEd.
So there's a whole bunch of post-TechEd activities still taking place.
Absolutely. Tons of it.
All right. So what kind of things might I be able to look forward to then?
One, all of our content that's been recorded is going to be available online, but from the workshop perspectives, if you weren't able to get into a workshop, we're going to be trying our best to redo as many of those as possible through the community, so you'll have an opportunity there as well to join and participate. From a content perspective, you can download a lot of the content. Workshop content is all on GitHub. A lot of the PDFs and everything like that is out there. The Roadmap Explorer on sap.com. You can go catch all the roadmaps.
I noticed also on the platform, some of the links have changed, right? Already it takes you to the relevant pages of the community already.
Absolutely. So if a session has done all of the planned replays and everything from a platform perspective that it has done right now, and we're not going to have any additional Q&As, it will or should in many cases link to a topic page of community, so community.sp.com, where you can actually go and learn more, ask additional questions and everything like that, and all of the entire community's there. So they can help you get your answers.
Okay. I noticed in the video before, or in the section before when you were sitting here with Danny and Thomas, you also said, somebody said something like, the whole point of this event, I wrote it down because I liked it, the whole point of this event was to bring the community together, and TechEd is one big community. And I just thought that was a nice way to kind of sum it up, because that's exactly what's going on here. And as I said, that community feel continues, obviously, on SAP Community. So over the last couple of days, we've been getting used to this amazing house. I'm sad to say goodbye to it in a couple of hours, or less than a couple of hours now. But we have got used to it, I would say. And we've been here for about a week now in rehearsals. And the whole time, all of this has been filmed. And you've seen some of the behind-the-scenes videos. Now, brace yourself, because this is the monster behind-the-scenes video. This is all the behind-the-scenes videos together in one huge behind all of the scenes video. So enjoy this one.
Let's take a quick peek inside and check out the studio. All right, so this is the behind the scenes that you'll hardly ever get to see normally, but they've got systems set up everywhere. There's cables, there's wiring, there's everything all over the place. And this is the stage. And as you can see, it looks like a typical stage. So what you're seeing online is when they add all the magical elements. The whole Unreal Engine is all over the place. So let's go ahead and take a closer look up here. Come on. Big crane cameras, side cameras, everything. This stuff is so cool. And then if you look up, we've got monitors where they start to show you what it looks like for the audience. So what you guys normally see, right? So if you look there in the camera, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm starting to come up onto the stage. But the cool part is, and this is what you guys won't see if we've done everything right during the live broadcast, but there's a monitor right over there, and it shows me kind of just appearing inside of the stage. Super cool. So here I go, I just come up, and all of a sudden, I'm walking into the room, and if I get to the right spot, I'm in the room. This is real. The chairs are real. The rest is not. How cool is that? They've got the big crane camera. This one flies in from the top, shows the different perspective, adds in all the augmented reality perspectives. Then you've got the 2 cameras on the side. They've got teleprompters, which we are actually not using. So crazy, but they're there if we needed to, but usually it just puts a clock up and tells us how much time we have left. But then, yeah, they're building the engine right now. They're just building the environment. Super cool. Absolutely amazing tech. This is just, it's a mix of virtual reality, augmented reality, physical space, just amazing. The crew is utterly awesome. Just how they're pulling us all together, bringing it together, adding in elements for us on the fly. You know, we're just people, right? We're not professionals. We don't do video in studios for a living. So the crew is really making this possible, and it's just amazing. I'm just speechless half the time when I realize what I'm doing and where I am. But to be honestly inside of a video game is just amazingly cool. Unbelievable. It truly is magic.
One of the main differences I think that virtual TechEd has with a regular physical event is the amount of people that we're going to be able to reach. At a physical event, you might have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, but here we're talking about tens and thousands of people, right? We're talking about maybe 40, 50, 60, 100,000 people that will be able to look at the content, will be able to engage through a chat, a Q&A. They'll be able to understand what SAP has to offer, and they'll even be able to get hands-on experience. We have workshops this year that are sort of like the physical hands-on event that we used to have at Physical TechEd, but they can be done completely remotely, so completely from a participant's own computer. They don't need to be in a specific room, in a specific event to be able to complete them. And I think that gives a lot of new people, a newer audience, the possibility to use SAP software to understand how to do it and to get really the benefits of what SAP has to offer. What I really hope for this year's TechEd, I really hope that as hosts for Channel 1, we can really engage with the audience. We can point them to interesting content tracks. We can point them to interesting information. We can actually react live to what's happening maybe on social media or any other kind of, social media platform. And we can really help the audience understand where they want to go. Because TechEd this year offers a lot of content. We have over 500 sessions, so it's really important to be able to guide and orientate people into exactly what they're looking for. And of course, since we're live, hopefully we'll be able to give kind of tips and tricks and let people know extra tidbits back behind the stage information, all that kind of neat stuff that they wouldn't get to see in a regular physical event.
I would say this is certainly a super ambitious project, to have a humble term for that. A live show with 48 hours, with this technology, with 3 cameras, and that level of production hasn't been achieved or been produced in Europe so far.
To do 48 hours live with a lot of people, with brand new facilities, with brand new technology, and with a big step into a completely new TV world. Yeah, that's the big goal here, to realize it and to bring them all alive.
What we'll be doing is a world premiere, to be honest. This is the first time that someone uses an Unreal Engine for setting up this whole virtual setup. So that means we have 3 cameras, we have fully tracked camera systems, and the tracking systems, they operate the computers and the servers. That means all the virtual graphic elements are tracked by cameras and are moving real time around the hosts.
It's a very ambitious project. That's correct. 48 hours live stream. You need a large team, and everything got to click together. We have a team that is working in 2 shifts, because when you do a 48-hour live stream, sometime you gotta get a pause and get some sleep. So the most challenging thing, in my point of view, is basically that you have to take care of that the audience will not see a difference between the first and the second unit. So it got to be a good flow, and I think we're on a good way.
There they are, guys. Welcome to our studio.
For this project, we created the main idea, where we want to go with SAP TechEd, where we want to go with the community, what we want to show the community, and how we want to show it. So we created this crazy 3D Unreal environment. So in this environment, we have a community house where we invite the community to come inside and experience all this great learning, information, deep dive content, expert talks, to bring this event to a global community which is all over the world and can experience it virtually.
This year we had to shift everything completely from a physical event to a virtual experience. It really was a huge adventure over the last month, really changing from a complete physical concept into such a large virtual project. There are so many different components we needed to think about, and it was really also for us. As you know, this event is all about learning, and so it was the same for us on that end.
Braveness is rewarded with joy. So this is really what is happening here. People, the client, everybody involved here was brave enough to take this on, and I think we're heading towards an outstanding result. So this whole process is really, I'm enjoying it very much.
Wow, wow, wow. What an amazing and emotional behind-the-scenes video we just saw. It really captures the atmosphere that we here in the live studio felt over the last couple of days. And yeah, it was really a journey that now lies behind of us.
And in addition to that, Lena, we are the first time together on stage. I love it. I love it. And we are in the living room. Yay!
Yay! First time actually for us. Yeah, and together with you now joining us, we will have a look at the highlights of social media.
And we cannot thank you enough for being so active in social media. It's just, I don't know what to say. And of course, we cannot show everything, but we scan through our social media channels like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and yeah, let's have a look. So there are some tweets we want to show you. There are still tweets about cats and dogs, of course. So we and the community just love it. For example, we have a data and analytics dog called Finn. And there were also some tweets about the fun run, hashtag UTFRW. So Thomas Zurich shows beautiful nature. Tammy Paulas even saw Santa Claus. And yeah, Ellen Forges is also already in festive mood. Lena, do you want to show us any highlight?
Yes, please. So my first highlight that I really want to share with you guys is this one here, Mr. Bean. So this was tweeted by Shodell Kalain, and he tweeted, "Keeping up with hashtag SAP TechEd is like this," namely Mr. Bean having the matchsticks using to help him to keep his eyes open. And this is really what we all needed the last couple of days. And you guys as well, because you were watching all our great content for 49 actually hours with our pre-show.
And I would like to highlight the post from Mohit, how he looked like during the developer keynote. And this is a GIF, and he is, this little cutie here is dancing like Craig did all the time. So we cannot highlight here everything because it was so much here. But we would recommend to check out hashtag SAP TechEd and hashtag SAP Community. And Lena, do you want to mention any else?
Yeah, I really found Neil Paxson's tweet yesterday super cool. So she accomplished another goal because she tweeted, "Slowly but surely overcoming glossophobia. Today is the first time that I felt my heart is in place, not jumping out of my chest." I felt that too, Neil. I'm totally with you on that one. And I also wanted to mention, please follow all the speakers from the sessions in SAP Community and other social media, like Twitter, for instance. Check out their content. There's already a lot of great recap blog posts out there. You can engage with them, commenting on their blog post. And if you have any questions, use our Q&A.
Yeah, that's a really good recommendation. And yeah, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. It was such a pleasure for us to be here in the last hours of our live show in the living room, both together on stage. That was just brilliant. And we wish you all the best. Take care and have fun with the executive Q&A, which is coming up.
Have a good one.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, SAP TechEd in 2020 transformed to a global virtual event intended to provide education and insights to the developer community. And our community is an empathetic one. And we are very aware of the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on the world. That is why the SAP TechEd team has committed to support Doctors Without Borders, whose mission is to improve people's lives all over the globe. SAP TechEd will be donating 25,000 euros to Doctors Without Borders. The health of a community is vital to its success. Let's overcome this pandemic together.